What's up, guys? It's the Fighters Replay. It's your girl Kay, and here I have Johnny Youngblood Broad. Come on
What's going
now,
on?
Johnny. Last time we spoke was a little hot minute ago, so go ahead and catch me up on where you've been. I know you got your podcast going with your brother. Um, you just been I know you've been training really consistently. I see you going hard at the gym. So just tell me what you've been doing, man.
Yeah, so what I've been doing, I guess, is like I took a break from training after my last fight in Florida. Um, and I was pretty much trying to find myself and like figure out, what do I want to do with my life and where am I going? And yeah, it's been like a good roller coaster ride, honestly, the ups and the downs that I've had over the last couple of months. But yeah, I always stay training and like in shape because yeah, I crave exercise, right? Like I've just been doing it for so long that my body like needs to I need to train otherwise, and my mind too, right? Like I'll honestly go, I get real anxious and antsy if I'm not training, like because I'm used to like twice a day. And actually what I did recently too, I went through a it's like a self-development course. It's called Landmark, and it honestly, oh yeah, it opened my eyes up. And what I realized was that I've been carrying around so much baggage, like from my childhood and my past, honestly. And so in the course, they got us to phone people who we had like maybe just had like a bad relationship with in the past. And then I just phoned people and I patched things up and it felt so good and it gave me clarity, like more clarity at least on what I want to do with myself, just feeling better. Because when I was fighting, like, or whenever I fight, I'm always something else is in my mind, right? And I've been carrying like that for a long time. And honestly, I think like it's like that for a lot of fighters, and they might have something going on in their head, right? And not every person who fights like necessarily wants to fight. They might have been driven to fighting or like through different reasons too, right? Um, I'm going to be starting teaching martial arts at a new martial arts school for September. So like I'll be back in like the fight scene with like my old coach and a bunch of kickboxers and stuff. And so I mean, martial arts will never leave me, and like it's like I just fought at the end of May, so like it hasn't been too long since my last fight, anyways. But it's just been good for me to sort of sort myself out. Sorry,
Absolutely.
that was rambling there, but yeah, just
No,
like
no,
catching you up,
absolutely.
catching you up.
Absolutely. I loved all of it. It's great to hear that, man.
Yeah,
Um, you know, I feel like it's tough for this generation, with social media and stuff like that. You have such a like driven idea of what you need to be and how much money you need to have and, you know, this status that you and expectation that you hold yourself to. And just being able to like dive deep into yourself and be like, who am I? What do I represent? What do I want to do with my life, And then
yeah,
just conceptualizing life all in itself, which is just a whole crazy mess. Like it's tough, and especially with martial arts and like competing and stuff. It's tough when you've done it for so long and you have that competitive spirit in you. It's hard to let it go and kind of become a regular person, because when you're in like fight camps and fight, like you're in a whole different mind of like, oh my gosh, like this person wants to kill me and I want to kill them, and we're doing it in a sanctioned way. Like this is a little crazy. Like we're training for this big moment, and it becomes, something that's kind of overwhelming, and a
yeah,
lot of fighters are able to take that and be like, live off of the adrenaline and like continue to do it over and over and over again. And some other fighters, like you said, like it's a little hard to do that. It's hard to get into
yeah,
that mentality and shape yourself to be a different person. So, I mean, it's I love to hear that you're doing this program and calling people up, man. That sounds so
yeah.
intimidating to me, but like it's like I can't imagine how much of a release that might be. It's
Oh
kind of like
yeah,
you know, accepting your wrongs and accepting that, and allowing yourself to forgive other people like that in itself, and focusing on your relationships as well, like with other people, because when you're on that grind and hustle and go, 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 it's hard to sit back and see the people around you and like give them the correct appreciation that they deserve and stuff like that. So, it's lovely to hear this. What other stuff do they have you guys doing in the You said Landmark it was?
Landmark, yeah. So it was a 3 day course, and it was from nine in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. So they were long
Oh,
days.
wow.
Yeah, we'd get like 2 half-hour breaks and then an hour break for dinner.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like full on. I was just on the computer, like and it's in a Zoom, right? It was in a big Zoom meeting. But it was cool. It was fun. There was a lot. There was 100 people in a Zoom meeting,
No
like a
way.
lot of people, and like the instructor, and yeah, she just walked us through calling people from our past who we felt like we had like something with. Like for me, it's like it was being inauthentic with people or not saying my truth and what I would have really felt. And so we ended up doing that and just getting more like straight with ourselves and reality, you know. But it took a lot of courage for people to like go and do that, you know, and because some people have it worse than others. And I felt bad, you know, some people maybe their parents have passed away or the person that they're telling this to is not receptive to it. Um, and I felt bad for those people. So I'm grateful that like everybody who I wanted to clear things up with is alive and received what I said and gave it back. So, you know, because that's I think that was my biggest fear is oh, what if they reject me? Or what if they're not feeling the same way? Like and you know, and we talked about that in the program and learned more of like, yeah, it's like that we are telling ourselves that story. Is that reality? Like, no.
Yeah.
Like dealing with, so it's like getting real with my life. That was just like eye-opening. So yeah, no, but it was a great course. Honestly, I recommend it to anybody who's like who's trying to figure things out or is not feeling the best. Because I was not feeling the best, honestly. Like for the last couple of months, I have, you know, ups and downs, right? But this really put me back like in a straight line and feeling good about myself. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I did it.
Absolutely. That's so awesome, man. I might have to look into that because that sounds
Yeah,
really neat, you know. Um I've been hearing a lot of like podcasts and stuff like that talking about like therapists and like sports psychology and stuff like that and how like, you know, just being able to dissect your mind and having someone kind of almost guide you through that
right.
is insane, you know, but it's better if somebody guides you through it and you also have to put forth action behind what they're saying and like continuously like kind of push yourself to doing what they're saying, like trust in
Right.
them, be like, okay, if you say that this is gonna make me feel better, I guess, doc, you know, like,
Yeah,
but
right.
but it's that's what I love about like people though, is just learning you know, why people do certain things. Everybody kind of has their own background and where they came from and you know why that makes them who they are. And I think that's so beautiful. But you know, it's kind of difficult for a lot of people to when they're comparing themselves to other people, like when you're training or when you're, you know, competing, it's hard because you're constantly kind of comparing yourself to other competitors, other people who are your same weight or your same age, you know, and it puts a lot of pressure on you, you know, and
Yeah,
being able to find a healthy outlet to kind of okay, let me stop worrying about everybody else. Let me focus on myself and what I need to do to my for myself to set me up forward uh
right.
more. Um but with that being said, do you feel like after, you know, this kind of, you know, few months of just kind of working on yourself, do you feel like you got an idea of, you know, where you're kind of going and, you know, what you want to be doing. I know I see you really active on social media. You're posting some awesome reels. I see you and you know doing some crazy kicks still, you know,
Yeah,
and you're staying on top of that mixed martial artist community.
yeah.
Also your podcast with your brother. How's that going, man? I think the last time we spoke, it was just about when you guys were dropping your first episode, and you guys are now what on the 11th or 12th
Yeah,
episode?
11 or 12. Yeah. So, I mean, we've been like having fun with it and we tried out like a couple of different things, just kind of were like threw a bunch of things at the wall, like, okay. And then, you know, because we're inexperienced, right? And, but it's part of the process. It's fun. And so anyways, the podcast, like it's, it was tough, honestly, setting it up because we use iPhones, like multiple iPhones, and then like a master control iPad. Okay, and so it's through Wi-Fi and it's on an app so that we can switch camera angles like during the podcast. We're live. So kind of we're at a point where we're looking at the next step, which is getting like proper DSLR cameras or video cameras and multiple of those, and then like the software through the computer. I think it's I'm trying to remember the name. Anyways, it's a software that somebody can man it from the computer, right? So and then we need like somebody to do that because we've been switching on the iPad. So yeah, but no, it's fun. Like it's nice to have like a place where we can, discuss things, and people listen. It's nice too. It's nice to be heard, and it's nice to share, and it's nice to listen when people come on a podcast. Like so, yeah, no, but it's fun. I honestly I enjoy making videos and sharing with the community of people who do martial arts and who are into self-improvement because that's so like popular right now too, self-improvement. Like, and it's because it's a big deal. It's obviously a big deal if so many people are like looking for help or whatever, like something to just get more like stable with their life, right? Or more clarity. So yeah, that's why I like the podcast. It offers that.
Yeah, I feel like you're definitely on that in that era that, martial arts slash self-improvement slash, pushing yourself and being better every single day. Like I love that mindset. I love that side of social media, you know. I feel
Right.
like COVID kind of like when we were all stuck at home, we kind of had a lot of time to ourselves and we were like this room is kind of really nasty. Like this is, I have way too much time on my hands for my room to be this nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you do a lot of self-thinking and I feel like that set a lot of people and it set people in two different directions. It either sent them to be antisocial and stay inside of that bubble because they found comfort in it,
Yeah.
or it set people towards like I don't want to live like this. Man, what is this? Let me try to make the best of what my situation is right now. And
Right.
that self-improvement track, man, it's beautiful and it's always evolving and there's so many different ways you can go about it. Um, but overall you're all on the same goal in
Hmm.
your own individual ways. Like I love
Right.
reading like self-improvement books and stuff like that. Right now I'm reading gosh, what am I reading? I don't even know the name of the book, but
Okay. That's all right.
it's in my bag somewhere.
Yeah.
But it it's basically, it talks about habits. It's kind of like one of those off brand books off of like Atomic Habits type thing. But
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
it talks a lot about, just forming little habits and stuff like that. And but how it also looks different in everybody's life because everybody's in a different stage of life. Everybody's in a different place, whether you're um, obese or whether you're just addicted to food or whether you're addicted to social media or
Yeah.
porn or whatever the
Yeah.
situation may be. Like everybody kind of has their little vice that
Vice.
they
Yeah,
got to
that's it.
go
It's
to.
a
They like to
vice.
drink, they like to smoke, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and so in those individual lives, they have to stop doing one thing. And it might be
Right.
different than what everybody else feels like they have to stop or feel like they have to start, and so it's a very like individualistic, you know, experience that you really have to push yourself there. Nobody else is going to do it. You can
Yeah.
listen to stuff every single day, have this positive feed in your mind, which is good. But until
Yep.
you put action behind it,
Yes. Yes. You're so right.
nothing's gonna change. It's all about action and it's like
Yeah.
I said, it's something you got to do yourself. It's that conversation that you have to have within yourself. And I feel like martial arts, like coming from martial arts or any type of like martial arts experience, not saying that you don't have to do martial arts to have this, idea, but in martial arts, it kind of pushes you to like you're battling with yourself. Even though
Yeah.
there's a person standing across from you, you're battling yourself. Every single day you're going through this individualistic war and
Wow.
this like mindset and stuff like that. Like you're really
Yeah, you're
going up
so
against
right.
yourself. So uh, I feel like coming from martial arts, a lot of martial artists tend to push themselves in those directions as far as like business and just trying to take advantage of every opportunity that they seek. You know, it kind of gives you this
Mm-hmm.
confidence of even if you don't compete, I know people who they just, train just to train, and it gives them this sense of confidence of I can do whatever I put my mind to. If I push
Right.
myself and if I tell myself that I'm going to do this, then I can carry myself far, and pushing yourself physically and mentally that, martial arts does, it it definitely puts you on the right track. And I believe you started martial arts really, really young, you and your brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What's that like having a brother, to compete with that it's kind of within your same age range and you guys kind of are the same size. So it's like a
Yeah.
perfect little training partner. I know a lot of people who like strive off of their siblings when their siblings are training with them also and are interested within the same things. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's kind of like look at like Sergio Pettis and Anthony Pettis, Nate Diaz and
Yes.
Nick Diaz, like
Yes.
two brothers who do martial arts, and they're just going to be able to help each other, and that's exactly what we did. So we had like a spare bedroom in our house, and we made it a dojo when we were little kids, right? And so we had like a bag in there, and we'd wear our karate gis and the headbands, and like practice like traditional martial arts. Like we would honestly, okay, we would go on Instagram, like YouTube, Instagram, whatever, learn from people online teaching martial arts. And so we'd learn like kung fu or wushu, like different like styles, just because we wanted to like we were so interested in everything about martial arts. And then yeah, as we progressed, we got into MMA, and we actually trained with a guy from Brazil. So he came up to Canada for like 2 years, and we started training MMA with him, and he had fought in Pride, like a lot of big organizations, right? Real tough guy, and old school, like shoot the box sort of like
Oh,
Brazilian style,
okay.
kickboxing and wrestling and stuff. Anyways, that was like our introduction to MMA was with like a legit professional fighter who had experience. And then like coupled like that, like so we were like both growing up and whatever, we were like troubled kids, and so martial arts was like always our anchor. Martial arts always was there for us for like a source of income. Like we could always teach kids and adults martial arts because we like know the skill. It's actually a skill, right? So it's very valuable. I think that's why too, like people want their kids to get a black belt because you're going to get a certificate. It's like you can put that on the wall and say, like, yeah, this is like a form of education in a sense. And because you said it so well, when it's like martial arts, you're battling yourself and to get better and to overcome obstacles. And we make it as if it's other people, but really it's us and it's how we deal with it. And because we're creating the situation in the first place. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but no, it's good having a brother, and then he can like film for me, and I can film for him, or he's like a demo partner in terms of social media and making content and stuff. So yeah, just like having like it's like a dynamic duo, right? Two people and two brains are just more effective than one. So lucky for that. I'm
Absolutely.
lucky for that. I'm blessed.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I know he was your cornerman at your last karate combat fight, and we were
yeah,
we were the row right behind like your corner where the pit side
really.
was.
Wow.
So
Okay.
man, we got a front row seat, and your brother was the most enthusiastic corner I have
Yes.
ever had in my whole like I had
Oh,
ever like witnessed. I was like, somebody needs to just record this man because he was fighting with you. Like he was there
ha,
in it. Like
ha, ha.
he was taking the shots with you like
Oh
shoot
my.
shoot, he was such an amazing corner, and it was true. I believe it was like one of the first fights of the card, and
Yeah, we
it
were.
and it was just such a beautiful. I was like, I need to get with this guy right here. I need him to be my buddy. I
Ha,
need somebody to
ha.
hype me up like this man does,
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for saying that. You're not the first person to say that. Like other people noticed that too, and they were like, holy, like your brother he was so vocal
He
and emotional,
was.
and it's because he cares. Like he cares so much about me and he's in it with me. Like I'll tell you a good story. When we were on the way to that event, they come and pick us up in like our own private vehicle. And then the guy in the front's like, oh, yeah, like what music you want to listen to? And I'm like thinking about it. And I started like picking some songs that like I vibe with, right? And that I like. And then we just had a moment. I started, looking at my brother and I started crying and laughing hysterically, but like bawling my eyes out. I'm on the way to a professional fight in Miami in front of like it's live and everything. And here I am bawling my eyes out with my brother, laughing at the fact that I'm crying so much. Oh my goodness. And it's because we had been reunited. Like me and my brother were away from each other for a few years as I was coming up as a professional fighter. And I just never had him like in my corner or, like his support. And so when we like rekindled our relationship, that fight signified like just how strong our bond is,
Yeah.
and he embraced me when we were in the car, and my coach as well. I was texting him. He's all the way in like back in Canada and like trying to like work me through it as well. But it was it felt so comfortable, like it honestly felt comfortable having family there who knows me like better than anybody else, because then we could, and like he's making me cut weight, got me in the we had to cut weight too in the hotel room. Sometimes like
Mm.
the training rooms would be busy, so we'd be like, all right, we'll just hit mitts in the hotel room, go in the, it's like a fighting trick. So you put like super hot water in the shower and on the sink, and you wear your sweatsuit, you get wrapped up in towels, and like you go and stay in the room, like sit on the toilet with the thing, or like even lay on the floor. It doesn't matter. You just got to get
Mm.
hot. If you don't have access to a sauna, and that's what we did. So because they don't have saunas at those hotels either, right?
Yeah,
Um,
Florida's in that bougie.
yeah, but no, yeah, I remember Karate Combat posted that video of him yelling like it was like the end of the third round and come on, John, like smacking the pit, and then they were like somebody had like a good clip of it on their story. It was good on Karate Combat story. I was laughing when I saw it too. Like people must have been like, "Who is this kid?" Like,
It was it was such a good energy. Like I can't imagine what that must be like to, like fight camp is tough, but fight week when you're, especially if you're traveling, to have somebody that you trust that you can kind of fall on for a second, that's
mhm.
that's so crucial. And especially somebody that you're close to like that, like that must just empower you. And I saw that in the fight, man. Every single fight that you've had has been so just passionate. Every punch that you throw, every slip that you dodge, like it's
Oh my gosh.
it's it's it's
Yes.
beautiful. Like it's you got so much heart. Like I remember
Thank you.
I was at both of your karate combat fights
Oh, my first
live.
one was
Yeah.
awful.
No, your first one was amazing. I became such a big fan after your first one. I was like, this kid is gonna become something fucking amazing. Like this kid, you know, the guy that you were facing had so much experience. He was like, I don't remember what he was. Uh,
I think he's like 30,
yeah, he was older, and
32.
man, the way that he was moving, he just reminded me of like those big men that you spar at the gym, and it's just like I can't get around you regardless of what I throw at you. Like they're just
Yeah.
so big, but
Yeah.
you were strong, but he just seemed like he just towered over you, and you just kept pushing forward though. You were getting clocked, but then you'd be like, okay, bet, let me throw three or four more at you. But as far as volume, I feel like you definitely threw a lot more volume in that fight. I thought that was going to be a close decision. And then they announced it, and I was like, dang, I thought that was so much closer. Like I thought that was
Wow.
I really, really did. I was in on your fights. And then when you came for the second one, I was like, damn. I was like, that kid's so good though. I love everything. You fight very similar to what I imagine like how fighting should be fought. You set up your kicks beautifully with your punches. Your combinations are not predictable. Your wrestling when you took down the dude so many times, which
Yeah.
I think is some BS because of karate combat rules or whatever. Because
Yeah.
I don't think they score the takedowns, but those were beautiful takedowns. I mean,
Thank you.
textbook takedowns. Like it was if had that had been under different rule settings, that would have
Yeah.
been your fight. know,
Yeah.
and so that was frustrating to watch again. I was like, oh gosh, I thought that was there. I thought that was there.
Yeah.
I put my little
Yeah.
karate coins on you. So
Fuck.
I
Sorry.
did. No, literally. But yeah, man, I'd love to see you just kind of grow into this person, just being able to talk to you and see how your mind has just evolutionized,
Yeah.
how you're kind of on this just journey of, like you said, just wanting to be better, just do something, better for yourself and
Yeah.
set yourself
Yeah.
apart, from people. I love seeing that, and I love seeing where you're going with everything. So you'll always have my support. I appreciate you coming and
Hmm.
recording this with me. It was a great
Absolutely.
conversation. I always love talking with you and, chatting it up. We
Yeah.
got very similar mindsets, so we definitely are gonna have to do something in the future,
Most
and
definitely.
keep pushing, man. I'm happy to
Yeah.
have you on here.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it as well. It was a good chat. It felt good to like air it
Yeah.
out a bit too. Like after this weekend that I had, like it just feel like a new view on life. So yeah, who knows if fighting's gonna be like in my future, and I'm gonna be in a martial arts gym again. So you never know. Like I might be back in the ring next year. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, and we'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. You got a great head on your shoulders, man. I can't wait to see what you got next. Shout out your channels and stuff. Everybody go follow him.
Oh yeah, my Instagram. Okay, so like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they're all the same. It's at Jonnie Broad, JonnieBroad. And what else? And then the Broad Perspective, we have a little our podcast on YouTube, and there's like an Instagram account as well. So yeah, you can follow me there. Thanks to you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon,
For
sir.
sure. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Have a great night.
You can't break me, I got iron bones. My ground game will leave your mind blown. I'm ready to fight in any time zone. I'm the greatest, you can call me John Jones. Knocking clowns out like I'm Steve Pay. We can even fight on the freeway. I'ma leave him bloody right where he lay. This is the fighter's replay.